Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
I'm gonna call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
What's new, pussycat?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thinking Logically. We have quite a lot on our plate, no pun intended, I guess you could say, today, including Haitian illegals eating cats and ducks in Springfield, Ohio, Kamala's debate strategy, some internal polling going on, another school shooter that was known to the FBI, and COVID mandates that are coming, as Chris Berman always says, back. But first, let's introduce you once again to our producer, who's probably in a good mood after watching that Steelers win that only involved defense and special teams pretty much. Ryan, what do you think?
Yes, I'm feeling good today. The heart attack has went away and all the emotions that you go through while watching these guys. But yeah, super pumped up, 1-0, top of the division. We'll take it.
All right. And back for the first time on the show in September, representing Allegheny County, Mr. Gordy Mark. How are you?
Joe, I wasn't here, last week, so I didn't get a chance to thank you as a union member. So I wanted to thank you, Joe, for, the 40-hour work week and 5 days off and all that stuff like that. 5-day work week. So good to be back with you and Ryan.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's good to have you back. All right. Our first story today that we're going to dive into, and again, it's probably going to absorb our entire first segment. The residents of Springfield, Ohio, they're reporting that, I can't believe I'm saying this on radio in 2024. This is like a real life story that we're leading with. But they're reporting Haitians are eating not only ducks at local parks, but also their family pets. Now, the audio we played at the open was from a woman eating someone's cat in their driveway. That was Alexis Tilia Farrell. Apparently, she stomped on a cat's head to kill the animal before eating it in a residential area in front of multiple people at a housing complex. That was in Canton, Ohio, and I'm pretty sure drugs are probably involved in that one. Not sure if she's Haitian or just here illegally or a U.S. citizen. Regardless, that's pretty third world stuff. What's going on in Springfield, Ohio, however, a United States city, is truly amazing. We're going to have audio clips from the Springfield City Commissioners meeting, but first, I want you to do me a favor. Audience, close your eyes. Imagine you're at a nice, beautiful pond. It's one of the last days of summer. You know, the leaves are changing. You hear birds chirping. The sun is warm and shining against your skin, but there's also a nice breeze. You're just enjoying the moment. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you see a Haitian chase down a flock of ducks or gaggle of geese and proceed to kill and eat one of them in front of you. Well, according to its residents, that's exactly what's happening at parks in Springfield, Ohio. And you thought the lanternflies were bad. Now, before you say... Before you say lots of people eat ducks across the world, sure they do, sure. But not at ponds. And they certainly don't field dress the birds in the streets. And honestly, if a fisherman wants to pull a fish out of a pond and eat it raw, fine. It's disgusting, but fine. As long as the fisherman is an American citizen. Now, Mark, before we dive into some awesome audio from the Springfield City meeting, we border Ohio. Are you going to be nervous the next time you take your daughter to see the ducks at the park?
Joe, isn't Springfield, Ohio, where Dave Chappelle lives?
I'm not sure. Maybe you're right.
That's what I was going to ask you real quick before you started. Where is Springfield? That way, kind of put it into perspective for the listeners. What part of Ohio is that?
I'm actually not sure. I didn't even look it up because I was scared.
Yeah, I was keeping up with this as well, and I did not look to see where exactly it is. So I just figured I'd ask.
Yeah, it's I want to say it's close to outside of Columbus. I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It's about 3 hours away. We're
But-
good. Okay.
Yeah. What if I told you, Joe? What if I told you that it doesn't have to be Springfield, Ohio? What if I told you that there was a Haitian invasion right here in Western PA, Joe, near the Mon Valley? Would you believe me?
I mean, as I believe you. The question is, do our listeners probably believe you? Do any Tom, Dick, or Harry that you walk across the street, just will they believe you?
Well, you know, it's tough to get through to the liberals out there, even when we provide them evidence. But I just texted a friend of mine who lives down in the Mon Valley in the Bell Vernon area. For those of you that don't know, Charleroi down there south of, Pittsburgh here in the Mon Valley, as I mentioned. And I said to him earlier today, because I knew we were talking about this, are there still Haitians in Charleroi? His exact words were, 1 million of them. I paid the extra $50 to go to Giant Eagle because Walmart is a third world country. Okay? So I said, he says, they're still here. He said, it's called the 4th Street Barbecue Packing Company. Apparently shipped all the Haitians in. This company employs them, owns the stores they shop in, and controls all of the utilities. It's a travesty. That is going on right here in Western Pennsylvania, Joe. Don't even have to think about Springfield, Ohio, although there's probably way more in Springfield, Ohio than there is in Charleroi. But from what I understand, and I've spoken to people that live and work down there as well, in addition to more people, they say that their schools are becoming inundated with Haitians, that the school can't provide the resources for these kids that go to school there because they need to provide English language services to these people because they can't speak English. So you're now straining the resources of the school district, of the taxpayers in that school district. So, right here.
Why don't the other kids just learn Haitian or French, or it's Haitian French? I think it might be French. Why don't the other kids just learn? Yeah, why don't they just learn French? Like, we cater to these people enough. Why don't we just start going the full way? Wouldn't you like if your daughter learned a new language? If my son watches Miss Rachel and he was speaking a little bit in Spanish here and there a couple months ago, had to end that. It's the last thing I need. My son talking in something I don't understand what he's saying. It's hard enough as it is. But what does that sound like to you, Mark? What that guy described? What they're doing to the Haitians, since the same company employs them, owns the place. What does that sound like to you?
Indentured servitude.
Yeah. Are they here for 7 years and then going back to Haiti, though? No, they're staying, and they're going to be indentured servants forever, and they're going to vote Democrat forever. And if they don't vote, they're still going to vote Democrat still. Do you understand?
Yeah. Maybe you should pull a Laura Loomer, Joe, and look up the 4th Street Barbecue Packing Company and do a little investigation into them and how they're getting Haitians here and why they're getting so many.
The Haitian sensation going on it. What was the place again?
Charleroi, as they say.
Jeez. All right. So do you want to move on to the meeting, the commission meeting, because that was interesting to say the least.
I mean, we have to explain to our listeners how 20,000 Haitian immigrants get to Springfield, Ohio.
On planes.
On planes, flown in by.
Oh, our government, the Biden-Harris administration. Don't forget the hyphen.
Yes. So
we're
keep that in mind when you go to the polls. And if Dawn's listening, Dawn, the re-education camps are looking promising these days.
Actually, I thought he was joking when he said the Haitians he saw a Haitian walking in Beaver Falls. I seriously thought he was joking. Maybe he was being.
They're calling on you right now.
Is he calling in right now?
Yes, he's on right now, guys.
What do they say, Joe? Import the third world, become the third world.
Don, I got to ask you, were you being serious? Because I just thought you were kind of joking around and being sarcastic. When you said you saw a Haitian in Beaver Falls, was he carrying a duck?
Let me see. No, I saw a Somalian. I told my bromai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. Haitian, I believe they speak French.
Yes.
The gentleman who led the Haitian Slave Rebellion, I believe you spell his name capital T. I'm not good with the whatever the name was, the French said that this man finds an opening everywhere. He was a brilliant military strategist, but as Tim Walz has enlightened us, it's okay to lie about our military history, or at least embellish. I fought beside this gentleman during the Haitian Revolution. I carried weapons of war in war. How about you guys? Why don't you guys lie more often? Are you Republicans?
We lie every day, according to the liberals. We lie every day. Everything we just said the past 6 months has been a lie. I don't know. Since day one of the show, we've been saying about how the border's a problem, how they're bringing in people, and then it's all coming to fruition right now in bad ways. Terrible, terrible bad ways.
There's more every day than the day before. I have been told by relatives.
Well, wait, I got to stop you there, Don, because if you do,
I'm imagining things. What is that poem? The other day upon the stair, I saw a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I hope he goes away. I don't know. I mean, Trump keeps talking about a massive deportation. The logistics of that deportation would be staggering, wouldn't it?
Andrew Jackson did it.
Oh, did he?
For the Trail of Tears. That's what the media is going to make it out to be, like the Trail of Tears. I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to get done because they're here illegally. They have no right to be here. No matter how many ducks get eaten, you have no right to be here.
Right? Yeah, it breaks my heart in some ways. Yeah, because some of them are children that were brought here, and they don't know what's going on. The poor little things. Of course, the Democrats are blameless in this, as far as I know. I didn't know Andrew. Well, that was kind of sad. The Trail of. Do you know much about the Trail of Tears?
I mean, I know what history tells me, so it has to be 100% true.
Right. I believe that Andrew Jackson's health was failing. He, even as a young man, he was a tough guy, but his health was failing. The Georgians were preying upon the Cherokee Indians, and Andrew Jackson was led to believe that the best way to protect them was to march them all the way to Oklahoma. I don't quite get it. Well, whatever we do, the media is going to... Who's that lady on The View? Joy Behar, She's going to have a field day with it. But wait a minute now. Since we're doing history... The great Shawnee warrior Tecumseh, I don't know who started calling them chiefs. I guess somebody did. He sent a letter, some sort of message to, I believe it was William Henry Harrison, and said, why do we waste all our young men fighting? I will face you in a duel, and whoever wins gets to dictate the terms. I was going to challenge Robert De Niro. Add 20 years to any liberal's life.
Just don't challenge. Don't do Alec Baldwin. Don't do Alec Baldwin. Be careful. We don't want you to wind up like Alexander Hamilton over
I don't want to fight him either. Robert De Niro actually fought in the movie Raging Bull as a young man, the Jake LaMotta story. But I finally found a liberal that I could beat in a fight to decide who's president. Michael Moore. Now, 4-ounce gloves will be just fine, and I want the boxing ring to be a CFL football field. And I'm going to chase that fat little punk around that football field, and eventually I'm going to get him. Do you think I can take it? You ever see him with those birth control glasses and that baseball hat and that dopey grin?
Yeah, he always looks like he needs the shower, but he just recently got out of the shower somehow.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that. So I'm willing to fight Michael Moore for the honor of the Republican Party.
All right, I like that. Book it. It'll be an undercard.
There you go. Hey, have a good day, sir.
You too, Don.
See you, Don.
All right.
Take care.
That's fun. My fault. They were Somali, not Haitian. We got to fact check ourselves. We don't want anyone fact checking us saying we got it wrong. All right, we got to get into this Springfield City Commission meeting. Ryan, so this guy basically got on the microphone and just explains everything that's going wrong in the city, basically sounding the alarm. Play clip 1 from that, please.
I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background.
Now, we have 5 audio clips from this. Now, I like what this is what we need. town hall setting, someone to come out and speak truth to power like that. You see how he calls them out for possibly being paid? Because why else would you want this? Why else on earth would you want 20,000 Haitians in your city of 50,000, 60,000 people? Mark, anything before I move on to the second clip?
Just to recap, we have Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado, and now we have Haitians taking over an entire city in Springfield, Ohio. Is that correct?
Diversity is our strength, my friend. Correct.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yep. Audio clip number 2. Ryan, play it whenever you get a chance.
I know a single mom that FaceTimed me tonight, FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants because it's the people that's bringing them down here.
Okay. He doesn't want to get on immigrants because, it's the people that are bringing them here. And he makes an amazingly smart point. And also the fact that they're getting welfare. Black American families are standing in line at the welfare, and immigrants are getting benefits before them. Mark, does that make any sense to you?
It makes a lot of sense if you've been paying attention to what's been going on in the last 4 years.
Do you think, honestly, it's like a screw you because we know we're not going to get as much as the black vote, so we're going to bring on our own voting base? Do you think that's what this really is?
They've been telling us this is what the plan was. This is what they've been telegraphing this. Hey, at least Gavin Newsom vetoed that bill that would have given $150,000 of taxpayer money to illegal migrants looking to buy a house. Let's take wins where we could get them. Thanks, Gavin.
All right, this could be the most jaw-dropping clip out of the 5 that we're going to play here from this meeting. Ryan, play audio clip 3.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them
I'll repeat it. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and eating them. That's an absolutely amazing quote for a Springfield City Commission meeting, is it not? By the way, Mark, I was thinking about this. President Donald Duck, do you think he's in danger?
Paging Chris Christie. Joe, are they eating these ducks raw? Are they just
I don't know.
eating them with blood and all, or are they going home and taking the ducks home to cook them? Because my brother-in-law told me one time his father would go down to the north side and kill Canadian geese and then give them to homeless people down there in Pittsburgh. So it doesn't seem too far off.
I mean, it's not like it's that crazy. People I feel like if me, an American citizen, if I want to go hunt or kill something, I have to have a license for it. But these illegal immigrants don't need a license for anything. They can literally just grab up a duck by the neck and eat them. And honestly,
duck, not a goose.
Oh yeah, duck. Duck, goose, geese. Even if they don't eat a single goose, they shouldn't be here. They still shouldn't be here. What's so hard about this, right? Is this craziness here? All right. Go to audio.
Send them back.
Go to audio clip 4.
And it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of $1,000s. Y'all need to put on a T-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. We got to do something, bro. It's kids out here getting hurt. Only reason I even went on here and said something about it is because somebody told me they walking from the school and a Haitian almost ran into them.
A Haitian almost ran into you in America. An illegal Haitian. And honestly, we'll get to a story. We're probably going to take a commercial break, but we are going to get to the story about a young kid, 11-year-old kid that was killed by a Haitian driving illegally. It's ridiculous.
I saw that.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, we don't know where Biden is. It's all going on, and Biden's probably going to say, yeah, the same guys that ate Uncle Brosy and ate my son Bo are the same people eating these ducks. And I don't even know where to go with it. All right, we're going to play audio clip 5 and talk about car insurance rates, and I think we're going to have to take a break. Ryan, play audio clip 5 when you get a chance.
And who is getting paid? How much money is y'all really getting paid, to bring them over here? I know it's deeper than them. I know that's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it, and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really like step up. Like it's lame, bro. Like for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're just tuning in, we are talking about Haitians grabbing up ducks and eating them in parks in Springfield, Ohio. Also wrecking into buildings and mailboxes and other things, causing car insurance rates to go up, apparently. A resident of Springfield, Ohio, reported that his car insurance rates have increased over the past 6 months due to a rise in accidents, which he attributes to the influx of Haitian migrants who, according to him, are causing many of the accidents in the area, and he has the receipts to back it up, according to this man. I'm not going to play the audio because we actually have to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the thousands of Haitians that have moved to Springfield the last 5 years. How do they get there, and why are they coming there? I don't know. We'll talk about it when we return here on Thinking Logic on 99.3 FM WBVP. You know, when Joe Biden shuffles in front of the cameras to answer scripted questions during the day, he lies like Don King. But what you don't know is, when he goes to sleep at night, he lies like an Egyptian king because he uses MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable. Use the promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings on this amazing product.
The place for news, sports, and entertainment. You're listening to Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP, coming to you live from the all-new Fry Transportation Studios.
It's Joe Corsi here from Thinking Logically to tell you about Beaver County's #1 realtor, Mark Galla with RE/MAX Select Realty. With over 10 years experience, Mark knows all the ins and outs of the real estate business, so whether you're looking to rent, buy, sell, or swap your house, you can rely on Mark to take the hassle out. Mark Galla of RE/MAX Select Realty, going above and beyond. Cash for your house. PGHbuyers.com. If you have an unwanted house but don't want the hassle of selling, visit PGHbuyers.com to see if PGHbuyers.com can help. No inspections and a fair cash offer. Visit PGHbuyers.com to sell that unwanted property for a fair price today.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Welcome back to Thinking Logically here on 99.3 FM WBVP. Before the break, we were talking about the all-you-can-eat duck buffets at parks in Springfield, Ohio. If you're just waking up from a coma that lasted longer than 4 years and you're thinking, what's going on? Welcome to 2024. You have a lot to learn. All right, moving on with this story. So thousands of Haitians have moved to Springfield the last 5 years. Exactly how did they get there? Well, immigrants from Haiti have poured into Springfield, and the city officials now say the number could be between 15 and 20,000 new residents among a population that had numbered just over 60,000 prior. And Mark, they come here for the same reason that your friend that texted you, to work, because there's job openings there. That's why a lot of them came here in 2019 and 2020. It was to fill job openings. I'm being serious. That's the reason they're kind of given.
That's just one of many reasons why they're coming, Joe. I mean, think about all the benefits you get as an illegal migrant that come into this country. I mean, who wouldn't want to come here? Elon Musk said the whole world should go to California.
Yeah, maybe I should too. What are we doing here, man? Weather's nice. That'd be a nice time to go there. All right. Did you see, according to the FBI Crime Data Explorer, violent crime in Springfield rose 242% from 2019 to 2020. But again, just because one Haitian illegal immigrant is sitting down in the park casually eating a duck doesn't mean that all Haitian immigrants that are here illegally are sitting in parks casually eating ducks, right? Now we're getting into it. So the Biden-Harris administration has secretly flown over 320,000 unvetted Haitian immigrants into the United States. Then in June of 2024, Mayorkas gave them special protective status to prevent them from being deported. This is ridiculous. Do you see how it works? Do you see who's all guilty?
It's one thing to let them try to figure out themselves how to get here, but no, Biden and Harris are flying them here. to this country illegally. Who would vote for more of this stuff? Insane.
I put this. We're kind of jumping out of order here, but I gotta bring up Governor Mike DeWine. He's a Republican, but he's got to be responsible in some form for these immigrants coming into the state. And I looked into him, and the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, and his wife, Fran, own a school in Haiti. What are the odds? They own this school since the 90s. It's named after their late daughter who died in a car accident, I believe when she was in college. It's the Becky DeWine School. You should check it out sometimes. I wonder if they do any charity work for Oprah, her organization, or, well, I don't even know what the name of her, or Oprah's, I don't know what the name is, or the Clinton Foundation. I wonder if they do any work for the Clinton Foundation in Haiti. Also, one of the schools down in Haiti, DeWine School, closed, was forced to close due to gang violence in the country. So he figured, hey, whatever, Fran, pack them all up and bring them to Springfield, Ohio. We'll watch them there. We'll teach them there. Does that make sense, Mark?
Hey, only in America, baby. Only under this administration, I should say.
I mean, just remember that all these people, the Haitian immigrant that caught the duck in the pond and eating, they're voting. If you give them a license, whether they have a license or not, Social Security card, they're voting. They might not be the ones voting, but someone's voting for them. They don't even need to show up at the polls. Someone will vote in their name. All right, this is what I wanted to get to, Mark. So there's stories about ducks being killed and eaten by Haitians, and it seems to be getting more media attention than the 11-year-old boy that was killed by a Haitian immigrant. I want to say this was in March. So 11-year-old Aiden Clark was killed on his way to school in Springfield, Ohio by a Haitian. Hermano Joseph was involved in a car crash with a school bus. This caused the bus to flip onto its side with one student dying. Joseph was convicted of vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter. And people try to go on and say this guy's actually here illegally, but he testified that he has a temporary protected status. Again, that's thanks to Mayorkas. And he did not get an Ohio driver's license because he did not have the necessary documents. He said he also applied for asylum. So the killer crossed the border illegally in 2020 and received temporary protected status. That does not make him a legal immigrant by any means necessary. And a child is dead because of this guy. The accident, I guess, the guy swerved into oncoming traffic, and the bus driver attempted to avoid the Honda by driving onto the shoulder, but the bus still collided and went rolling off the side. It's a terrible, it's a travesty, and no one cares. Where's Joe Biden? These are children, Mark. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of line here. Maybe I'm out of line.
I mean, this could easily be Beaver County. This could easily be another town in western Pennsylvania. We already said, who knows what's going on down in Charleroi, but again, to all the Democrats out there that think, nothing's going to ever happen to them, that their town isn't a border town or whatever. This is in Ohio. This is in the American Midwest.
Yeah, and what's Kamala's solution to fix the broken immigration system? It's on her website now, I think. Let me see. It's to give amnesty
to build a wall.
No, she wants to give amnesty to them. So
that's what Chucky Schumer said too.
Yeah. KamalaHarris.com.
Nancy Pelosi was on Bill Maher. Nancy Pelosi said she wants to take them to undocumented to documented on Bill Maher. That's what they said. This was just in the last week or two.
At the same time, Kamala Harris knows that our immigration system is broken and needs comprehensive reform that includes strong border security and an earned pathway to citizenship. How do you earn it? But what do you play, like Duck Hunter? And depending on how many ducks you're able to shoot and get, and that's how we're going to do it now? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely insane. And the best part is it's duck, it's geese. There's literally a video from Savannah Hernandez on X of a man. I'll just read what she said. Still can't get over this Haitian dude walking around with an entire goose like it's a freshly prepared bag of Chick-fil-A. We are so cooked. And it's a guy holding a dead goose. I mean, it's just not right. Like, if you're like, I would never go to a foreign country and start killing animals at a pond and eating them, even if it was my custom. Even if it was their custom, I still wouldn't do that. Mark, remember when the president of Haiti was assassinated, and who ended up being responsible for that? I know supposedly some of the assassins were disguised as DEA agents. That was in July of 2021. Right after this stuff started happening.
Oh man.
All right, let's cook through a few more stories here. So I guess the police were asked about this, and Springfield police tell the local paper that they're aware of the claims that migrants are stealing pets, but that it's not something that's on our radar right now. Okay. Traffic tickets? What's on their radar exactly? I don't know. And this is from Buck Sexton. He says Haitian immigrants in Ohio are not illegal. The Biden-Harris administration decided by executive decree that they cannot be deported. They are de facto legal. More importantly, Democrats will never deport these TPS recipients. It's not temporary. It's forever. And that's according to Buck Sexton. That's scary, Mark, is it not?
Mark my words, Joe and Ryan. If Donald Trump doesn't win this election, all of these 13 million plus illegals that are here will all become citizens of the United States early in 2025.
And every American
That's what's
city,
gonna happen.
and every American city will be just as dangerous as an Oakland Raider home game. All right, let's move on to Baltimore, covering the illegalness still. 153 illegal alien sex offenders arrested this past year in Baltimore alone. Actual offenses committed far exceeds arrests. That's from Elon Musk of all people. I guess ICE's Baltimore office announced the arrest of the 153rd illegal alien sex offender this fiscal year. It's a record, and it's 2 times the previously deported Honduran national. Oh, I'm sorry. The 153rd arrest was a 2-timed previously deported Honduran national who re-entered the U.S. illegally again and got as a gotaway and was convicted of raping a Maryland resident. Is that enough for the story? These aren't just one story here and there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. And then voodoo going on in New York City. How about this one, Mark? From the New York Post. Animal sacrifices on the rise. Animal sacrifices on the rise in Queens, with chickens, pigs being tortured in twisted rituals. Mark, do you want to take this one?
My brother-in-law's moving to Brooklyn, Joe, in a couple weeks, and I told my lovely wife, I said, it's her brother. I said, your poor brother, he's moving to Brooklyn. I said, there's evidence of Venezuelan gangs. The Tren de Aragua gang has a stronghold in several boroughs of New York City, Joe. Import the third world, become the third world.
It's not funny, but like, what else can we do but laugh? I mean, we have to mock it. We have to mock it. That's the only, because we sit here, we can be serious all day, but I don't know. I think mocking it is the best way of how ridiculous it is, because you like go a little bit crazy laughing, thinking, this is so ridiculously crazy, but it's true and it's happening in our country. That's supposed to be the best country in the world. Mark, remember when COVID came from someone eating a pangolin that had sex with a bat, and now we're just eating ducks and... What's going on? I mean, am I really? This is the stories we're leading with in September of 2024, 50 some days before an election. There's a debate tomorrow, and we're talking about Haitian immigrants eating ducks at the pond. I don't know. Remember?
It could be worse.
How? I don't want
it to be worse. We could be talking about some apocalyptic event that I thought would have happened by now, but
yeah,
who knows?
Right. Well, the voodoo could bring on the apocalyptic event, apparently. All right. Before we move on to a break here, just remember who is to blame for these Haitian immigrants when things continue to get worse. It's border czar Kamala Harris. Ryan, play the audio.
Starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection.
No, Kamala Harris. United States citizens need protection. And they need protection because of your policies. Stay tuned. You're listening to Thinking Logic at 99.3 FM WBVP.
Football season is here, and East Rochester and Tuska Shop and Save is your tailgate headquarters. With all the food and beverages you need to make your tailgates and game day parties the best in town. Fire up the grill with their top quality meats, delicious burgers, hot dogs, and chicken wings. Get your cheese and meat platters, dips, and all your game day snacks. Check out their wide variety of wines and the beer cave. Don't miss out on amazing weekly specials and save money at the pump with every dollar you spend. Stop by your Shop and Save at the Tuska Plaza or East Rochester today for everything you need this football season.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Thinking Logically here to tell you about a company I've been using since I got my learner's permit. Grossi & Associates. Using their state-of-the-art equipment, Grossi & Associates offers collision repair for all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. There's a reason why they are voted Best of the Valley year in and year out. They are the collision experts. Grossi & Associates. Call today for a free estimate.
It's Joe Corsi here from Thinking Logically to tell you about Beaver County's #1 realtor, Mark Galla with RE/MAX Select Realty. With over 10 years experience, Mark knows all the ins and outs of the real estate business, so whether you're looking to rent, buy, sell, or swap your house, you can rely on Mark to take the hassle out. Mark Galla of RE/MAX Select Realty, going above and beyond. You know, when Joe Biden shuffles in front of the cameras to answer scripted questions during the day, he lies like Don King. But what you don't know is, when he goes to sleep at night, he lies like an Egyptian king because he uses MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable. Use the promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings on this amazing product.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Welcome back to Thinking Logically here on 99.3 FM WBVP. Brought to you by So Fresh, So Clean Pressure Washing. Whether you need your house washed, driveway clean, patio done, fences, gutters, you name it, call Dave from So Fresh, So Clean Pressure Washing at 724-252-4489. That's 724-252-4489. They're fully insured and offer free estimates. So what are you waiting for? Don't be the outcast in your neighborhood with a dirty deck or house. Call So Fresh, So Clean Pressure Washing today. All right, Mark, we're done talking about Haitians and illegals and buffets at ponds. Let's get into some internal polling. This is from Michael Tracy on X. I sent you this earlier today. He said, this is pretty wild. Per New York Times Siena poll, the demographic that identifies most as Democrats is voters aged 65 and up. The demographic that identifies least as Democrats is voters aged 18 to 29. Amazing.
Yes. Still there, Joe?
Yes, I am still here.
Okay. So let's talk about these internal polls. We don't see is general population. We don't see the results of these internal polls. We only see the polls that are put out by polling organizations, right? So we saw the latest poll, Joe, that came out from New York Times Siena had Donald Trump up. And New York Times Siena is a reputable pollster now. New York Times Siena poll had Donald Trump up 1 point nationally. Joe, if Donald Trump is up 1 point nationally, I saw a statistic that his chances of winning the Electoral College were about 99%, if that is the case. Agree or disagree?
I agree, but that doesn't change a thing for us. We still fight just as hard. But yes, I agree completely. Yes. When you give a vote like that, I start to lean like the popular vote a little bit. I want to get crazy, but...
So I contacted a friend of ours, and I asked him. This is somebody that would be in the know here, who would have knowledge of internal polls. And I said, explain to me the difference between internal polls and polls we see, that are put out by Trafalgar Group and New York Times, Siena, Rasmussen, all that stuff. Because we keep hearing about internal polling being very bad for Kamala, that they're taking on and creating a footprint in some of these states you wouldn't think they would be. And he said, internal polls are polling run by firms hired on the campaign side. It's private info, but sometimes things leak. They're often run with more specifics that the campaign is looking to, not always as broad. It's interesting, he goes on to say, it's interesting because on the Twitter sphere, the Dems are talking about how Nate Silver and Republican polls are full of crap to hide a narrative, and the Republicans are saying that the Dems are panicking over their internal polls and cracks are starting to show because Kamala got no convention bump. I'm being told by some Republican leaders that they believe the win will be at the backs of Republicans by early October. The Kamala hype is going to die off, and polling history in previous cycles back that up. Again, that's assuming no black swan event.
I'm sorry, you say black swan event, and that just kills me, man. Because the duck eating and the geese eating and the swans are next. You can't have a black swan event if they're all eating.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, October surprise. What could it be at this point? And nothing would surprise us, obviously, but we're talking about an escalation of war, a nuclear attack, something like that. Who knows? But I told you earlier today, we have 50-some days until Election Day, and, nothing really outside of that. I don't want to say that school shooting, but the school shooting, last week was obviously horrific, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those people affected. But in terms of something happening to these candidates, nothing really is, taking the news cycle away.
Calm before the storm, almost, if you will.
It is, and I think based on what happens tomorrow night, as I told you earlier, I think we may see an escalation of things, depending on how that goes.
I agree with you 100% there. I think they'll if they lose on election night or becomes clear election night, they'll find some reason to not certify or say he had help from Russia or he had help from this. We can't certify. We have to take this to the courts, or there was a side. There'll be something. Just wait. We have 56 days. That's more time than you think. Do you want to talk about the debate tomorrow?
I cannot wait for this debate, Joe. Just briefly my thoughts on this debate. We've heard in the last week or so Kamala wanting the mics to be open during the question and answer process. I guess the Trump campaign got what they wanted, and they're going to have the mics shut off. So, and I think we know why that Kamala wanted the mics open, right, Joe? That we think that we're led to believe that she wanted some viral moment like she had with Mike Pence 4 years ago, the I'm speaking moment,
I'm speaking.
Yeah. And frankly, 4 years ago when it was Biden and Trump, when they were going back and forth, I mean, it was actually kind of disgraceful how that went. Just them going back and forth, talking over each other. So I'm glad the debate format is the way it is. Trump was very good in this restrained format back in June when he debated Biden. Joe, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so like I said, Trump won the coin toss this time, and he's going to have the final word. So that's different than last debate. Let's first break down what is crazy Kamala's plan. Can she really win this? I mean, I hate they did this to your grando, but Northern Illinois did just beat Notre Dame, so crazier things have happened. So I'm really sorry. That was a gut punch. I should have put the Bengals or something in there and the Patriots. Anyway, Kamala has to play, for her to win, she has to play the prosecutor and instantly try to cast Trump as the defendant. She's probably going to use the phrase convicted felon numerous times. We should probably bet on that. If it's going to be double digits probably. And then after that, it'll be the media's job to reinforce the narrative that the prosecutor, Kamala Harris, put Trump on trial, and that's why she's going to win. But she's not a prosecutor. But what's happening to Trump is definitely a persecution. I mean, prediction then. After tonight, there's going to be she's going to do terrible. There's going to be some kind of change after tonight. I don't know what it's going to be, whether it's Kamala getting elevated to the presidency to replace Joe Biden or even her being possibly replaced. A bad performance, and you're going to see something like that happen. I'm telling you. Bold prediction, I know, but everyone laughed when I guaranteed that Biden would drop out after the last debate. Ryan, you remember that. Even you were a little taken back when I said that.
You were literally the only person that I heard that said it, Joe.
And you believe the same thing, did you not?
Absolutely.
You believe the same, but it's different when you say it in public or on the air. Anyone can say, yeah, sure, I think the Pats have a real chance to beat the Bengals on Sunday. But did anyone put their money where their mouth is and bet them on the money line? No. I'm telling you, they hid this candidate for so long, she's going to be exposed tomorrow night. Mark, go ahead.
Well, we know that Kamala, I don't know how many of our listeners know this, but Kamala's actually been in Pittsburgh for the last several days, holed up in a hotel room at the Omni William Penn downtown preparing for this debate. She's been preparing here in Pittsburgh. She had a very, very scripted appearance at Penzi Spices in the Strip District, who is run by a very anti-Republican owner. So hopefully none of our listeners shop at Penzi Spices. But Joe, she's going to be prepared. Let's admit that. At least she's going to be prepared. How she does, I won't be shocked if she does very well. It seems like she's putting all her eggs in this basket because this would most likely be the only debate we see between these two. I mean, they had enough issues, settling on rules for this debate. I don't think we're going to see another debate between these two. Do you?
No, I don't think we will either, unless it's another candidate that replaces her after. I mean, it's just like the drummer from Spinal Tap. Just keep on replacing the candidate over and over again. But
she is going to cast Trump as a convicted felon, and Donald Trump just needs to stay and do what he does. He's a very skilled debater. He has way more experience debating people, and I can't wait. This is going to be good.
If this is a debate class, you would not want to be Kamala Harris's positions and her. What if they bring up the 2020 riots? They're not. I mean, but what if Trump does? Maybe he won't. What if they bring up gun control? If gun control is brought up, who better to speak on gun control than the guy that was just shot in the face? I mean, the border. No matter what they bring up, Trump's going to have a pretty easy answer. Again, will he call out any of her lies? Or is he just going to strictly focus on policy? I hope he does a little bit of both. Mark, did you see she literally, I got to bring this up. Kamala said she worked at McDonald's. And then she kind of walked it back, and it's just like, no, we're going to ignore that she ever said that. We don't know if she... I've seen 90s WWF wrestlers with more believable backstories than these politicians. The Undertaker has a more believable... He's dead. He's dead. That's his backstory. He's a dead man. That's more believable than Kamala Harris working at McDonald's.
And Trump could take that angle, too. And I'm sure he might at some point tomorrow night. Who is Kamala Harris? We don't even know who she is. The American public surely doesn't know who she is. She's changed her positions multiple times over the last 6 years or so, 7 years in public life. She doesn't do any interviews, so how do we know who she is? And back to what you said earlier, Joe. Joe Biden said he would never pardon his son Hunter. He reiterated that the other day. But if he steps down and lets Kamala assume the presidency in the next 55 days, she could pardon Hunter and pardon the entire whoever in the Biden family so that no one ever spends a day in jail.
And if she does, remember she's a prosecutor too. The media will never mention that she's a prosecutor when she does that. And she put black people in jail for marijuana violations, dime bags, nickel bags, stuff like that. How could she be so obtuse with the McDonald's story? Like there would be W-2s, to quote the movie, schedules made. People that remember, I worked at Wendy's in high school and I can still name like half the people I work with there. All right. So, also I have this just written down. The 9/11 families have sent letters to the Harris and Trump campaigns asking for a moratorium on campaigning on the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks this Wednesday. Harris and Trump have received the letters, but neither has responded. So that's something to watch. Be interesting what happens there. And then did you see, we can't care whenever Tulsi Gabbard or RFK Jr. a Democrat endorses Trump, but did you see Dick Cheney, former war criminal, current war criminal maybe, endorsed Kamala Harris, and all of a sudden bygones are bygones?
Joe, one of the most evil, sinister people in the United States of America, Dick Cheney, someone who the Democrats absolutely loathes, and Republicans probably for that matter.
Well, remember when we used to argue about politics years ago? Neither of us. I was Republican. Neither one of us liked Dick Cheney, though.
He is extremely evil. He's created more destruction for this country, him and George Bush both, than any two people probably in the last 50 years. And they're clapping like seals. The Democrats are, because they got an endorsement from Dick Cheney. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, this has to be more so. He called him a threat and extremely dangerous person that can never sit in the White House again. This is from the same person that orchestrated the Iraq war. You can't even make it up, honestly. He just looks so evil in that cowboy hat picture that was put out in social media a couple of days ago. And in his daughter, Liz, I mean, we don't even need to talk about her and give
her endorsement.
Waste our airtime on her.
I mean, that's like getting an endorsement from the 0-16 Lions. She lost by 70 points last election. Why would you want that loser endorsing you? What? She lost her own state. Honestly, I don't know if it was 70. It might have been like 40 or 50 points then, because I think she got 30% of the vote. But regardless, Cheney got 30% of the vote and lost.
To Harriet Hagerman.
We don't even know who that is, and we follow this stuff. Right. All right. Also, I think Mitt Romney also said he's going to be endorsing Kamala Harris. I don't know if he did or not. And George W. Bush, he said he's not telling us who he's endorsing. Now, Mark, why on earth would he do that?
I don't want him to endorse Trump.
They never will.
When you see Dick Cheney, Barack Obama, who else endorsed Kamala? You know to vote for the other person, no matter who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right, we got to
Mark
take
Cuban, another one.
Yeah, Mark Cuban, another one. Green Day. Green Day created an entire album about. This is from Toad on X. I love that Green Day created an entire album about how much they hate George W. Bush and his regime, and now they align politically with Dick Cheney. All right, we have to take one more break. When we return, we're going to talk about Trump's cease and desist letter, school shooter update, and Trump's sentencing was delayed. Congratulations, Donald Trump, not going to spend any time in jail, at least before the election. Stay tuned. You're listening to Thinking Logic on 99.3 FM WBVP.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Thinking Logically here to tell you about a company I've been using since I got my learner's permit. Grossi and Associates. Using their state-of-the-art equipment, Grossi and Associates offers collision repair for all makes and models, both foreign and domestic. There's a reason why they are voted best of the Valley year in and year out. They are the collision experts. Grossi and Associates. Call today for a free estimate.
Do you like sports? Then tune in every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Brian is loaded with statistics and interesting sports viewpoints. The show can also be seen on the WBVP-WNBA Facebook page. Plus, Brian will be taking your calls as well. That's One Man's Opinion on Sports with Brian Pasquale. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. on Beaver County Radio.
You know, when Joe Biden shuffles in front of the cameras to answer scripted questions during the day, he lies like Don King. But what you don't know is, when he goes to sleep at night, he lies like an Egyptian king because he uses MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, its long staple cotton makes it ultra soft and breathable. Use the promo code LOGIC to maximize your savings on this amazing product.
Cash for your house. PGHbuyers.com. If you have an unwanted house but don't want the hassle of selling, visit PGHbuyers.com to see if PGHbuyers.com can help. No inspections and a fair cash offer. Visit PGHbuyers.com to sell that unwanted property for a fair price today.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WNBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WNBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WNBA.
Welcome back to Thinking Logically here on 99.3 FM WBVP. Friendly reminder, this fall, starting in November, U.S. hospitals will soon be required to report COVID-related admissions, restoring a mandate which was lifted earlier this year. So COVID is indeed coming back. And also, Mayor Adams apparently has tested positive for COVID-19. Mayor Eric Adams in New York City. So I don't know. Now, if he's hospitalized, it doesn't count until November 1st, I guess. I have no idea.
That's the least of his problems right now.
That's all you need, Eric Adams, to go away for a good couple weeks here and no leadership. There's no leadership anyway. All right, let's talk about this. I don't know what this even means, Mark. Kalshi just legalized trading on U.S. elections, and for the first time in 100 years, Americans will have access to legal election markets at scale. What? First of all, do you understand that?
No.
Me neither.
I have no idea what this is.
Is it like FanDuel with elections?
I don't know, but DC Dranos, I mean, this post here, it says now not only are these money markets more accurate than rigged polls, but now there is a much stronger legal framework to file lawsuits against election fraud. What if he says if someone loses millions because of a rigged election, courts will hear their case like they would any securities fraud case. No more BS dismissals based on lack of standing, quote unquote, like we saw in 2020. They have a direct financial loss damage from the rigged election. There's a reason Biden tried to keep this illegal as long as possible, but the courts overruled him. Huge, just huge. Interesting outcome here, Joe, with this.
Yeah. We're short on time. We got to get to the Trump cease and desist letter. So he issued this, I believe, on his social media and on X too. I, together with my attorneys and legal scholars, am watching the sanctity of the 2024 presidential election very closely because I know better than most the rampant cheating and skullduggery that has taken place by the Democrats in 2020 presidential election. It was a disgrace to our nation. Therefore, the 2024 election, where votes have just been started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny. And when I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences, so this depravity of justice does not happen again. Yada, yada, yada. Just to recap for our listeners, and I'll give it to you, Mark. In 2020, Trump got about 12 million more votes than he did in 2016 when he beat Hillary Clinton. That means that basically everyone that voted for Donald Trump the first time voted for him the second time, plus 10 to 12 million more people. Somehow he lost, though. Now they're telling us the guy who sells out arenas and puts 50,000 people in a stadium with thousands waiting in line outside is barely beating Kamala Harris, a woman that never received a primary vote. Use your brain and think logically. Mark, to you.
And let me add one more thing to that, Joe. Don't forget, he's doubling his support with black Americans. He's polling 10 points higher with Hispanics. He's polling way higher with white males. So, again, like you said, think logically here.
He's just doing terrible with the illegal vote. You get like maybe 1%. Probably not even that. Probably 0.5%.
Oh, by the way, Joe, how about James O'Keefe? They are handing out cameras to poll workers, poll watchers, and vote counters as well. So it's going to be very hard for them to cheat in this election.
Yes, it is. And we have to make it even harder. We have to see something, say something. Okay, so school shooter update. Apparently, the mother of this alleged Georgia school shooter had a 10-minute conversation with a school counselor warning about the threat her son posed just 30 minutes before the massacre. And also, this is from Terrible. FBI admits the Georgia school shooter was on their radar for over a year and they didn't prevent it. Mark, I don't know how factual true this is with the FBI knowing him or how they knew him, but why does this happen every time with every school shooter? Again, the percentage of people that shoot up schools related to how they know the FBI. Why is that such a big percentage?
Well, I don't want to talk about that, Joe. I want to talk about how Kamala Harris stated that we should not have school resource officers in schools.
I did hear that.
Every school in America should have an armed police officer, a school resource officer, to engage someone if this were to happen, which I believe this resource officer did eventually engage with the shooter.
Yeah. Notice they always target the gun-free zones, too. So that's also a big thing. All the crime, all the shootings, they all happen in gun-free zones. I'm not saying you should be bringing guns to school, but I don't know. I heard what she said, and I wish I had the audio clip. I was totally confused. It's almost like she's trying to lose the election. We already have people in fear for their children's safety at schools, and she's saying to remove the armed officers from the schools. By the way, we just need to get answers to how these school shootings happen, and you know, still never got anything from Uvalde, Parkland, really. Just mysteries. All school bookworm dorks that do these shootings, too. Never a football jock player, anything like that. Athletes, people that are, I don't know. All right, moving on. Trump sentencing delayed. The judge delayed Trump's sentencing in the hush money case until November 26. Mark, is this so they could see if they lose the election, then they'll try to throw him in jail and have civil unrest and civil strife and just throw it all at us then?
I'm actually shocked this happened. I thought for sure they would have sentenced him to prison and stained him even further ahead of this election. So I'm a little surprised by this. I don't know what to make of it really, but hey, whatever. I mean, if Trump loses, I mean, let's you know, say it for what it is. He's probably going to jail.
Yeah. Whether he wins or loses, he's probably. We said 2024 loser goes to jail election. All right, we got to wrap up here. How much time? Yeah, we got about a minute and 30. One more story before we break. Breaking news. Harvey Weinstein rushed to the hospital for emergency heart surgery. He must have had a heart attack or something. I don't know. Me Too. The vaccine Me Too movement claims another person. Good for Harvey Weinstein. All right, Mark. We missed the MS-13 gang member in the school. I just saw we didn't have time to cover that. I don't even know what happened with that, but I believe MS-13 gang member somehow was in a school. We just don't have time. We'll be back on Thursday, though, 5 to 6 p.m. after the debate, post-debate coverage. Mark, real quick, any predictions for the debate you want to make before we head out of here?
I think it'll be somewhat civil. I do believe that, and I don't know. I think it's going to be good. So just make sure you guys are tuning into that debate tomorrow night. And rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Oh no!
Passed away earlier today. He was in one of my favorite movies ever, Field of Dreams. Also, I think the voice of The Lion King. But yeah, rest in peace, James.
Do you think watching the new Star Wars killed him?
Potentially.
All right. Ryan, prediction for the debate or Monday Night Football? I'll give you either.
I'm going to go San Francisco on Monday Night Football, and I think that I can't wait for the debate, guys. I really wish there would have been more, and unfortunately we don't get to see more of these two go head-to-head, but I'm very excited about it, guys.
All right, my prediction, Kamala's going to embarrass herself, and then after, someone's going bye-byes, whether it be Joe Biden in office, Kamala, mark my words, someone is leaving the presidency or leaving as a candidate weeks after this debate. Write it down. We'll be back Thursday to discuss this 5 to 6 p.m. here on 99.3 WBVP. Until then, enjoy the debate. Pay attention. We'll see you then. I'm Joe Corsi.
The views and opinions expressed WBVP and WNBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WNBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WNBA.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.